How is everyone doing? I am uh, trying something new tonight. I'm going to make sure that the audio works. I believe it does. So we're going to make sure the audio works tonight. If you happen to be joining us, you're welcome to tell us if the audio works. I believe it will, though. I believe tonight is the night. The reason that I've decided to do a show now is because I have come to the realization that there is an extreme amount of excitement or worry in some cases to the Israeli war. And so tonight I want to talk about it. So please join us for our Jesse Woodrow show. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and start it now, and hopefully this all works. If you hear me, let me know.
News sometimes can be boring. However,
Let me take some time to explain some things that I see in the news. And as I do that, I just want to make sure that my audio is running. So I apologize, guys. This is the first time that I've done this with this new setup. So
I just want to make sure that
yes, it's working. Okay, good. It's all working. That's so good to hear. Thank you for joining us here at the Jesse Woodrow Show. Big news. Obviously, Israel is in the middle of a huge war, and I thought that it would be beneficial for us as people that are concerned about the war. Is the war that we see in the Bible? And I looked at the Jerusalem Post today. I just want to take you to what I see. Here is the Jerusalem Post from today, and let me tell you, they're talking about the Holocaust. The death toll now has risen to 1,400 as Israel is bombarded with rockets. So there's a lot of death, a lot of things happening in Israel regarding this war. And in our news open, I'm trying to make sure if you guys, I believe there is good enough audio. But I wanted to come to us tonight and talk about the Israeli war. And I saw this article here. I want to take you to it. Let me see if I can bring it up now. Yeah. Middle East countries rush to condemn Israel amid the Gaza hospital blast. Now, for some of you out there, the rockets launched this afternoon in the United States. It's 5 o'clock, 5:30 here. But there was some rockets that supposedly launched over into Gaza. And it launched into a hospital. And so the world is outraged because Israel would target a hospital. Well, it came out just recently that there was not a hospital that Gaza has, that a hospital that Israel has targeted in Gaza. It was actually the terrorists that had a rocket fire off, and it did not go as planned, and it something malfunctioned in the rocket, and it turned, and they have video of it. Israel is releasing video, drone video of the situation. But what I wanted to just share with you is that the Middle East has rushed to condemn Israel amid this Gaza blast. And I just want to show you, while the IDF intel confirmed that the Islamic Jihad were responsible for the Ali Ahli hospital blast, that did not end the calls for blame for the explosion. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE, Jordan issued official statements condemning Israel for the purportedly causing an explosion at the hospital in Gaza, despite the IDF intel that shows terrorist group Palestinian Islamic Jihad was responsible for the strike via a misfired rocket. So The reason that this is so interesting is because we understand that in Bible prophecy we're told that the world will actually the world will actually hate Israel. And so I see this story as the Bible and prophecy unfolding right before our eyes. It says that the dragon was wroth with the child that brought forth the man child talk about Israel. The dragon is just wroth. There is constant hate. There is constant anger over Israel. And when I look at this story, that's what I see. So why is the world not on the side of Israel? Because the Bible says that the world governmental system will in fact be at war, physically, spiritually, at war with Israel. And this story just shows that exact same thing.
Almost got arrested 2 days ago at the Federal Reserve for standing outside on the sidewalk.
We're talking about the Constitution.
What's really going on out there?
Nothing ever goes on my right hand or my forehead. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. It is against my religion to put any kind of a mark or symbol on that part of my body.
Do you want to know today?
And sure enough, one of those cards said terrorist nuke.
Audio is
On that part of my body.
Do you want to know today?
And sure enough, one of those cards.
Welcome to the Jesse Woodrow Show. I have turned on the comments here, and you can see them. The new comments will actually display there. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you have been a friend for a long time, welcome. We're glad that you're here. But the Israeli war is really a huge story. In fact, I have just received comment after comment, question after question, phone call after question, phone call, text after text about, Jesse, what's going on in the Israeli war? What's happening in the Israeli war? And so I thought that it would be prudent for us to take this time to look at some stories that are relevant to what's happening now. As we all know, the Israeli war has started, and that's really what people are coining it. But it's a fight between Hamas, which are Arabs, which are Palestinians, Hamas, and we'll get to the fact that Iran is really behind Hezbollah and Hamas. But you have terrorists to the south and terrorists to the north, essentially, of Israel, that are gunning for, hating, wanting Israel to die and be destroyed and so forth. And so there is this major feeling in the world that we are possibly on the brink of a world war. It would be World War III is what it would be. And so I thought, look, I got to get to you guys. The Bible says in Daniel chapter 11, verse 31 through 33, it says that the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. That's what it says. So that there are the prophecies of the Bible that are opening up, that are becoming known to us, and they that understand amongst the people shall instruct many. And so I have an opportunity, you have an opportunity, we have an opportunity to teach a variety of people about the prophecy of the Bible. And that's exactly what the Bible tells us to do in Daniel chapter 11, verse 31 and 33. I mentioned it just a second ago, but I want to make sure that I quote it exactly. In Daniel 11, 31 through 33, it says, "An arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice." What's interesting there is the Antichrist will stand in a rebuilt Jewish temple, and he'll actually take away the daily sacrifice. What does that mean? That means that there actually is going to be a temple on the Temple Mount once again, and that he's going to stop the daily sacrifice. I mean, that's crazy to think about. It's not there now. There will be one, and then he's going to stop this. So that means there's going to be sacrifices that are going to be happening on the Temple Mount. So you can leave right now. You can leave this chat we're having right now and go and tell people there is going to be a third temple. That's prophetic. If you know the future before it happens, that's called prophecy. God gave us the prophecies in the Bible to tell people. Daniel 11:33, 31 through 33 says it. Let me just continue on. It says that, and in verse 32, and such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries, and the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits, and they that understand amongst the people shall instruct many. So it says right there, we don't have to guess, we don't have to think about it. It says right there that in fact, we are supposed to understand the prophecies of the Bible. We're supposed to tell people about the prophecies of the Bible. And when we do it, we are doing strong exploits. We are supposed to instruct many. So I'm looking at this war in Israel and I'm thinking, whoa, dude, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Is the war in Israel mentioned in the Bible? So let's talk first about this idea, and I'm going to go to the story for you. The Hamas chief, let me bring it up on the screen for you. The Hamas chief has called for a day. There it is on Reuters. Former Hamas chief has called for protests, and he has said that he wants neighbors of Israel all around the world to join war against Israel. Let me read it to you. Former Hamas chief Khalid Mashal called for protests across the Muslim world on Friday in support of the Palestinians and for the people of neighboring countries to join the fight against Israel. We must head to the squares and the streets of the Arab and Islamic world on Friday, Mashal, who currently heads Hamas diaspora office, said in a recorded statement sent to Reuters. Mashal, who is based in Qatar, said the governments and the peoples of Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt have bigger duty to support the Palestinians. So we have tribes of Jordan, sons of Judah, Jordan, brothers and sisters of Jordan. This is a moment of truth where the borders are close to you. You all know responsibility. Jordan and Lebanon are home to the largest number of Palestinian refugees. And he goes on to rally people against the nation of Israel. This guy, he doesn't even know it, but guess what? He's demonically inspired. Why is that? Because the Bible explains that the Antichrist and the one world governmental system will all rally together against Israel to battle. And that the Messiah, the Mashiach, will actually come back. Jesus Christ will come back on the Mount of Olives. And when he comes back, he's actually going to go and fight the battle of Armageddon with you and me. That's what's so interesting about this. That this guy, he don't even know what's happening to him. He has no idea what's up for him in the future. That Jesus Christ will have the last word because he's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He's the first and the last. He's the comforter. He's the spirit of joy. He's love. He's the Holy Ghost. Come on now, somebody preach with me. So we understand the prophecies of the Bible not because we're smarter, not because we're better than anyone. You know why? God's opening up things to us. So we see this war in Israel. By the way, let me just state to you guys, I have opened the comments up. So let me go ahead and see if I can type something. There we go. Hello. There we go. There's hello. There's me. Let's see. Go ahead and ask a question. Ask a question. Obviously, you know, I'm not able to do two things at one time, which is talk and and write. So today we're talking about the fact or the question that is the Israeli war in the Bible. And to describe and talk about this for a moment, we see that the Islamic leader, the Hamas, former Hamas chief, is actually calling for the entire countries neighboring Israel to actually take to the streets and fight in war against Israel. Now, there's another story that I saw from CNN. CNN is another one of my favorite publications, as you can probably well imagine. But look at this story here. We have the fact that CNN is reporting that the United States is sending a carrier strike group fighter jets to region as Israel prepares to expand its operations. Let me just read this to you. This is an unbelievable story. The Pentagon has ordered a second carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean Sea, and it's sending Air Force fighter jets to the region as Israel prepares to expand its Gaza operations, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said in a statement Saturday. The U.S. warships are not intended to join the fighting in Gaza, wow, or take part in Israel's operations, but the presence of two of Navy's most powerful vessels. Here's what's interesting about this. It just said that these are two of the Navy's most powerful vessels. You know, when you go to fight in a war, do you send the scrawny guy who's never fought before? Or do you send the big guy, the big dude that is the biggest, baddest guy on the block? And the United States has just sent it's hard for me to even figure this out or understand this. They've sent the two biggest, it says, the two most powerful vessels. And it's designed to send a message of deterrence to Iran and Iranian proxies in the region, such as Hezbollah and Lebanon. The movements are part of an effort to deter hostility or hostile actions against Israel or any efforts towards widening the war and Hamas's attack on Israel, Austin said in a statement. So this is Eisenhower, and then we got U.S. Gerald Ford over there as well. So now, it seems like there is definitely a world war that is marching here, or the possibility of a world war. Now, is this war in the Bible? Is this war mentioned in the Bible? Some people think it's Gog and Magog. Some people think that we're in the Battle of Armageddon right now. Let me say this. We can't be in the Battle of Armageddon. We can't be in the Battle of Armageddon because there has been no rapture. When the rapture of the church takes place, then, only at that point, after the rapture of the church, then that will be the battle of Gog and Magog. We're not in the battle of Gog and Magog. So, please, if you have questions, ask them. Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and receive those now. Eliezer, everyone, God bless you. God bless you too, brother. Great to see you. Great to see you. So, now let's get to the rest of today's lesson. So essentially, we see that the United States is sending fighter jets, and the second most powerful, I guess they call it a striker. How do they say it? It's a warship, but it's a striker unit, if you will, a carrier strike group. And it's the number one and number two. We're sending the best two guys, the best two striker carrier groups we even have, the Navy even has, over there. Does that sound like something that is just a peaceful mission? Oh, it does not sound like that. Now look at this article. I found this article, and Hamas is saying, this is what I found is so interesting. Hamas is actually saying that the United States or Israel, if you will, is not the only target. Look at it. Israel is only the first target, warns Hamas commander. So we have an article here stating that the entire planet will be under our law. There will be no more Jews or Christian traitors. What? There will be no more Jews or Christian traitors? That does not sound very good. Now, this article is published October 10th, so it's about a week, 7 days ago. Footage of senior Hamas official Mahmoud al-Azhar calling for world domination has resurfaced online. And so in this video, in fact, let me see if I can play it for you here. Here it is. Let me play this video for you. Let me see if it'll work here. This might work. Let me see if I can play it.
والدفاع عن الأرض المحتلة. لما نتكلم إن إحنا جيش القدس ونتكلم عن معركة وعد الآخرة، لا نتكلم فيها لأننا سنحرر أرضنا فقط، ولكن لأن ما قاله نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم عندما قال زوى الله تعالى لي الدنيا وفي لفظ آخر الأرض فرأيت مشارقها ومغاربها وأن ملك أمتي سيبلغ ما زوي لي منها. إنه 510 مليون كيلومتر مربع وهي مساحة الكرة الأرضية سوف تعيش حالة لا ظلم فيها ولا قهر فيها ولا خيانة ولا صلة ولا مسيحية غادرة ولا قتل بهذا
Let me
بهذه
just stop
بحجم
this
هذه
because he's in Arabic. No treacherous Christians or Jews will be on the earth. I mean, that's what the guy is saying right there. He's just said that. He said it in Arabic if you speak Arabic. But so this definitely looks like a world war. This is not something that is just, let me just pause this real quickly. Here we go, so we can make sure that we don't get any other messages here. And I apologize. This is the first time I'm doing this for a little bit here, so I'm forgetting to turn on do not disturb. So this definitely does not look like a comment by a guy that just wants to target Israel. He says it straight up. He says it straight up that this is not only for Israel, this is for the entire earth. We do not want to deal with Jews anymore. We don't want to deal with those treacherous Christians anymore. And so we're coming after everyone. So this is not me saying this. This is not even the Bible saying this. This is this guy saying this. He's a Hamas leader. So is it possible, and here it is, today's topic, is it possible that this Israeli war is actually mentioned in the Bible? Here's the news. It's very possible. The Bible explains that there is something called the Sixth Trumpet War. And it's in Revelation chapter 9, verse 13 through 16. And we're going to read it in just a minute. But it says that there is going to be a war that emanates from the Euphrates River. Let me just read it to you. Then I see we do have a couple questions. So let me get to those questions in just a minute. But I want to get to this prophecy. In Revelation chapter 9, verse 13 through 16, it actually says, and there the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels which were loose were prepared for an hour, a day, a month, and a year, for to slay a third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Essentially, that number is 200 million. And it says that they are released from the Euphrates River, and they're a day, a month, an hour, and a year. So we are going to have a war before the seventh trumpet. Remember, the seventh trumpet is the last trumpet, as the Bible explains. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51, it says that at the last trumpet we should all be changed, incorruptible into corruption. And so we will be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. That's that verse in 1 Corinthians. That's the last trump. However, that's 7. So there's a 6. So 6 happens before 7. I did graduate from first grade. Very proud of that fact. And so I am understanding how math works, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7's the last. But there's 6 before 7. And so in Revelation chapter 9, verse 13 through 16, we see that there is a war that's going to happen before the rapture, before the seventh trumpet. It's going to actually happen. And it's going to kill 1/3 of mankind. So, is this Israeli war the sixth trumpet war? I tell you what, it's very possible. It's very possible. I'm not saying thus saith the Lord. The Lord has not told me that this is in fact That's not what's been said to me. I'm telling you that I'm looking at the prophecy and I'm looking at what's happening. Now, here's another little twist. The Euphrates River, the basin is shared with Iran. The basin, where the base of the river is shared with Iran, the Euphrates River. Now, I read stories that the war was planned last year. So that's a day, a month, an hour, and a year. Now, I'm not even saying that, that's from the Lord as well. I'm just trying to explain to you that if you look at the prophecies, it looks like it's possible that this is in fact the sixth trumpet war, or the beginnings of it. If we send our best 2 striker carry groups over there, we have a war with Muslims, is it possible that 1/3 of mankind could die from a war that emanates from the Euphrates River that was ready, that the 4 angels were loosed for? The 4 angels were loosed for an hour, a month, a day, and a year? Yeah, it's very possible. So let's go to some questions. I see Eliezer has a question. Can anyone get tricked into taking the mark of the beast? Yeah. I tell you what, not only can somebody get tricked, the Bible says it's going to happen. The Bible explains that there is a great falling away and there's great deception. If possible, even the elect will be deceived. So it's a great question. And so what do we do? So if the elect can be deceived, how do we not be deceived? Well, I tell you how we not be deceived. We read our Bible, we understand the prophecies of the Bible, and we stay connected to people that have the teachings, and we make sure we stay connected. Now, let me just break it down for a minute. This is a great question, by the way, bro. This is a really good question. So, the mark of the beast will definitely be a financial ultimatum. We know for a fact that there will be a ultimatum, meaning if you don't do this, you can't buy or sell. So, I would say to you that the best way to make sure you don't get the mark of the beast is that when there is a ultimatum, a financial ultimatum given to you by a world leader that claims to be the Messiah, who claims to be the man in charge, say no. Right there. Now, the Bible explains that there is no possible way that you can ever get your salvation back if you have taken the mark of the beast. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Georgina Groyd, let me just, hopefully I said that right. I don't mean to, Groyd, to mispronounce your last name. Are you a Red Sea pedestrian yourself? Let me say that I find one of the best things in the world, and you'll enjoy this, I hope, is to never lie, is to never tell a fable, never to just be honest. And so when I don't know something or I've never heard of something, the best thing to do always in life is just say, I don't know yet, let me look. So a Red Sea pedestrian. Now I'm gonna look this up, Red Sea pedestrian. I'm looking it up as we speak. Is the term Red Sea pedestrian considered offensive? Literally never heard of this one. Okay, I'm trying to, member of the tribe. So is this a Jewish? Let's see. I'm trying to, Red Sea pedestrian. Here we go. Slang term for follower of the Jewish faith. Yes, I am Jew. It's an obscure slur against Jews, hinting at the escape from Egypt across the Red Sea. Okay, so it's a slur. It's a racial slur towards Jews. So listen, that's okay. It's all right. If it was meant to be harmful against me, that's fine. I'm not offended. But yes, I am Jewish, and however, I do believe in the Messiah. So if that helps at all. Can anyone? Let's see. That was your question. Is the mark of the beast here? I keep hearing the jab is the mark. It changes the DNA. I don't know what to believe. Oh, that's a great question, Eliezer. Great question. No, the mark of the beast is not here. And let me tell you, there's two reasons why I can tell you it's not here. There's no temple in Jerusalem. So there's no Antichrist that stood in the rebuilt Jewish temple, right? I mean, think about it. There's no temple in Jerusalem. So that right there says there's no mark of the beast here right now. On top of the fact, there is no Antichrist. So we have no Antichrist and we have no mark of the beast. We have no temple, no mark of the beast. So those are just two things that I can tell you just top of my head on why we do not have the mark of the beast here. Chris Lucas, the Protestant view. Hey, Chris! There you are. Chris is a friend of the show for a long time, and I'm so happy to see your name there, Chris. Hope you're doing well, sir. God bless you. Hey, everyone, to yourself. Chris Lucas, the codon optimization in the jab might be dangerous. Yes, I agree. First of all, don't take the jab. I didn't do it. But the jab is not the mark of the beast. I'm going to tell you why. Because the jab is not connected to the financial ultimatum, the buy or sell piece of it. Also, there's no mark of the beast. Now, could there be a nanoparticle in the jab that somehow in the future then when there is an Antichrist becomes da-da-da-da? Yeah. There could be, I have learned anything's possible. Anything is possible, literally. So I would be cautious to take any government-sponsored, government-endorsed, government-wanted, government-desired medical treatment. Does that sound good? Did I get around all the stuff by saying that? Sorry for using the slightly offensive version. YouTube is touchy about the... Okay, no problem. I understand. I take no offense, Georgina. No offense at all. Let's see. Okay, well, that's the end of the show for today. Man, it was so much fun. Yes, I do believe that this war could possibly be the beginning of the Sixth Trumpet War that would kill 1/3 of mankind. It's very possible. I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time at the Jesse Woodrow Show. Power is knowledge, and the lack of it is death.